Hello, Virgo. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If Virgo is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Virgo, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. 5 of Swords. And the 5 of Swords is telling me that you're changing your mind about something right now. I think that you're somebody who is usually very accepting, very tolerant, even kind of quiet, giving other people the benefit of the doubt, very trusting. You're usually very kind of easygoing and kind of like not really trying to pick too many battles. But right now, I feel like there's something that's kind of nagging at you. There's either a suspicion, there's a mistrust, there's some kind of doubt or some kind of question that's in your mind that kind of like just won't leave you alone, And I think that you're trying to figure this out. As our first card here, this represents like something on your mind. When you close your eyes at night, this is like that thing that keeps coming back for you to think about. It's on your mind again. When we're done being busy, right? This is what kind of pops into your mind. It just sort of bubbles up and you start thinking about this again. Okay? We need to figure out what this is and what do we do about it? Where is it motivating you? Is it holding you back? Is this something that just kind of needs to be let go of? It needs just forgiveness and it just needs, I don't care, I'm moving on. Is this something that you need to pursue or continue investigating to find a conclusion or some kind of resolution? Let's put this card into a little bit of context, okay? Yes, there needs to be a conclusion here. I feel like this is something that you really are trying to get to the bottom of. You have an Ace of Pentacles, you have a 6 of Cups, a 7 of Swords, and the Death card. We need the closure, you need the conclusion, you have to understand, you have to get to the bottom of it, really, before you can move on and forget about it and let it go. Okay? Because if you don't, then this is going to be an anchor that you're trying to drag behind you. So we have to complete this thing in some way. Okay? Path of the Serpent, we have, 4 of Wands, card of completion and closure, right? We have a 3 of Wands, acting with integrity. We have a 2 of Swords. It's interesting. We have Ace, 2, 3, 4. And we have the Star. Oh, yes. Because this is going to hold you back from your destiny, for one thing. If this is something that you can't resolve, it feels like your life has been put on hold. It feels like you're kind of stagnating in some place, okay? It feels like this thing just won't let you go. You won't let it go, and we're unable to continue moving on. The Star card is also giving you the insight that you need to understand what this is. Okay, so this is the card of insight. This is the card of, I think, the truth being revealed. Yeah, the revelation that's going to take place. And I do think it has to do with a particular relationship in your life. It may be a family thing. Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. I'm going to put it down right here with Mr. Ed, our tiny horse, right there on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end, of course, but it will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments down below. All right, now, as we look, excuse me, around the room, 1, 2, 3 majors. You got fire, a little bit of water back here, air, air, air. And then we have our earth cards, or an earth card, a earth card. The universe card is a card of delay. It's a card of kind of waiting for something to happen before we can get moving. Yeah, it's a card that says we need patience, or perhaps we've already been pretty patient. It's kind of a card that says we need to get moving again. But there's some sort of uncertainty, there's some sort of doubt, there's some sort of suspicion. There's some question on your mind that's preventing you from getting a move on. If something is delaying your progress right now, the unfolding of your destiny. And I feel like it's Spirit saying it's time for you to get back to pursuing your destiny. What is this thing that's tying you down? Is a 5 of Swords, which is sort of coming off of this 6 of Cups. It may be a family thing. It may be a relationship that was very good at some point, or perhaps there was an expectation of beauty and harmony and love and connection and bliss and perfection. What we got in reality is kind of confusion. It's almost like you're asking, why doesn't this look the way I thought it was going to look? Okay. So going from the 6 to the 5 is kind of like, it's not what I thought it was going to be. Yeah. The universe card is a card also of the question that we're asking, or perhaps the answer to the question. So there's something that you've been trying to figure out. Maybe you've been asking yourself the question, and maybe you feel like the universe has been rather silent. You know, that you keep asking the same question, and perhaps the universe is just not saying anything. Okay, almost trying to imply that you already know the answer. The simple fact that you're having this question or this doubt is the answer. And perhaps that answer is moving forward, death energy, transformation, letting go of the past, and evolving through this situation, but not lingering in the situation. Our second card is that universe card. This represents the battlefield. The problem, the challenge that is facing you right now is perhaps figuring out which direction to go, or whether to go in any direction, whether to just kind of surrender to whatever momentum exists now and to just ride the cosmic wave, right? To just remain as kind of a cork on the cosmic ocean, or to get in touch with who you are and point your ship in a certain direction and light the thrusters, you know, which would be, of course, using our 3 of Wands, that integrity. So it almost feels like there's a confusion here. There's a split. You're being torn, perhaps 2 of Swords, being torn in 2 directions. There's part of you that kind of feels like you know the right thing to do, you know where you're supposed to go and what you're supposed to do, but there's also some kind of the other part of you pulling you in this back direction, in this reverse thruster kind of way. That is kind of telling you to stay here. Okay. Down beneath the surface, Ace of Pentacles. This is something whispering from your soul. It might be saying, take a step forward. It might be saying, start the new path. It might be saying, doesn't matter which way you go, but you can't stay here. This is the compass itself, right? It's a circle. And there are little degrees marked, 360 of them, marked around the circumference of the circle. This is an energy that says, just pick a point on the map and go. The Three of Wands is the actual part of the compass, the spiritual compass, that is kind of magnetized in a particular direction. It's kind of like saying, your conscious mind may not know which direction to go. Your unconscious, or your spirit, your soul, knows what direction to go. Deep down, you know which direction to go right now. All you really are acknowledging so far, the only thing that you're getting the awareness of is that you can't stay here. Okay? So it seems as if your soul is urging you to take a new direction. Yeah. And it seems like the Six of Cups, well, that's pleasure. That is, that's really harmony. That's family. That's friendship. That's community. And it may be that it's hard to reconcile your expectation versus the reality. I think the reality here is, well, we have our Seven of Swords, Five of Swords. It doesn't feel like this was the win that it was supposed to be. Okay. The Six of Cups is, it seems like a good day. It seems like a real pleasant situation. I feel like this was either the way it used to be or the way you expected it to be. This was something beautiful, harmonious, everybody was getting along. This was just a real pleasure to be part of this. And now, you're kind of confused. You're asking questions. Why do I feel this urge to leave? Why does it feel like something's just not, maybe, why do I feel like I don't trust that? There's some kind of a confusion, there's some kind of a question, we're doubting, we're second guessing. You're looking at it with a mistrustful eye. And why is that? I think that it's something deep inside of you that is telling you there's something not quite perfect about this. And I think it was something that at one point it felt like it was great. There's some now you're suspicious of it. And I think in this case, now we could see different outcomes here. We could see that, maybe your mistrust here is some kind of a shadow complex that's trying to ruin this good thing for you. But the fact that we have the Death card in the future position, it may be a case where you really should trust your doubt. Sometimes we get a Five of Swords and we get a little, we start to second guess ourselves. We start to question things, and it's just kind of like, it's just that part of our mind that gets a little worried, a little scared of things, but we're meant to continue on, right? I think in this case, you're having these doubts and you should probably listen. Yeah. Because I think that there is, with the Seven of Swords up here, I feel like other people around you have kind of even hinted at something like this. And this card would then be, you're starting to kind of believe what everybody's been saying. I think you're thinking for yourself, but at the very least, the opinions of others have planted a seed of doubt in your mind, and you're thinking, maybe it's something I should explore. Now, I don't know right or wrong what the situation is. I can only tell you what the energy says. And the Death card says that you're moving on. Right? The Death card is saying that something has reached its conclusion, and it needs to be processed and released, and that energy needs to be reclaimed. If there is this much doubt about your current path, it probably is a strong indication that this isn't a very, very strong heck yes kind of situation here. I feel like, in a way, there's something inside of you that is really blocking you from believing in this or trusting fully in this, whether this was a relationship, something at school, at work, at home, family, friends, whatever. We wanted it to be perfect and beautiful and blissful. Something in you is sounding an alarm. I feel like your guides are screaming about this. Yeah. And I feel like that awareness in you is kind of just confirming what you've already known. I think you've known for a while that you're meant to walk away from something. A person, a place, a thing, it doesn't matter. But you've been reluctant to do that. Been trying to resist. Sometimes the Seven of Swords is that we have been resisting some kind of truth. Yeah. Usually it'd be a reversed card, but you know my opinion on reversals. The context that we have here is kind of saying that, look, there's been a conscious awareness of something, but there's that part of you that's trying to ignore it, trying to resist it. But again, every time you sort of close your eyes, every time life calms down, like at the end of the night, you're about to go to sleep, all those doubts pop into your head again. It's like you've been keeping busy in your life to try to drown out the truth that you're reluctant to admit. Okay. And there's a good possibility that this isn't even a current relationship, but it's something from the past or someone from the past that's still occupying your mental space. Okay. I mean, it is in the past our Six of Cups, yeah. But there is a truth that we're reluctant to admit right now. The Death card in the future position is a card of grieving and releasing, but moving forward. Maybe it's saying that we're not capable of going back. It's impossible to go back to when this was actually very good. It's past the point of no return. It may be that we're wishing and hoping that somehow we can return to this more perfect state of things, but we can't. The Death card is demonstrating that. We can't go back to how things were. You either accept the way things are now and deal with it, even though there's this truth that there's some kind of a prompting from inside of you that's saying, look, we need to move forward. Okay. The Death card is about kind of recycling that energy, claiming that experience, owning that experience, and moving on from it. Now, Path of the Serpent, we're going to talk about these cards. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. The Four of Wands is a card of completion. It's a card of closure. We have to complete the circuit, complete the circle here. Something is so far is undone. Okay? And this is that awareness in you. This is your general energy. I think you're in need of closure. Okay? And it may be that you've been vacillating between leaving and then staying, leaving and then staying. Or maybe you've left several times and you've come back several times. Okay? This is the card of a cycle, a circle, a merry-go-round. Okay? It may be that a lot of the same things keep happening in your life. In this particular relationship, a lot of things keep recurring over and over and over again. It's a pattern that's been repeating. And the only way to break the pattern, well, is to do something different. A 4 plus the ace gives us a 5. That we have to do something different than what we've always done. You have to take a step in a different direction if you want to break this cycle. Okay. There is a possibility with our Five of Swords that you've condemned this before it really even has a chance to unfold. What if we think of it that way? Do we pre-lose, right, in order to kind of avoid the humiliation of trying? Because maybe the universe card is here to say, look, you don't know how this is yet. You don't know what this is going to become. But you've already convinced yourself that it's not going to work, and therefore death is the only way forward. Right? That we have sort of we've killed the relationship before it even has a chance to manifest. That your doubt is sabotaging yourself before something ever really manifests or it crystallizes or unfolds in any way. The Four of Wands would support that theory because of its repeating patterns. It may not be the first time that this has occurred. But the idea here is that you're feeling these doubts, and you have to be able to distinguish in and of yourself with the support of spirit and your own soul, which is true. That's why we have a Two of Swords, right? Which path is really the path? Which interpretation is really yours? Are you sabotaging this before it really has a chance to unfold? Or the doubts that you have, the doubts that you're having right now, are they true and accurate expressions of your soul that are saying, this isn't working, you need to leave? How do you know the difference? Well, I think part of that is through the star energy, through allowing your consciousness to go to those darker places where you have sabotaged yourself in the past. Okay. There is a cycle that's completing here. There is a return to wholeness that you're being urged toward. Okay? And that's the universe card. The universe is that wholeness. A cycle is completing, and you're going to become whole. You're bringing to light that which is kind of unconscious in you. You're able to see that there's a pattern in your relationships, and you're ready to end it. This is where you need to find that trust in yourself. The Three of Wands is that inner virtue. This is the magnetic spiritual compass that's pointing in the right direction for you. You've got to be able to listen and look deep within. Go past all of your thoughts and feelings. Go past your bias. And say, what is your soul really saying? Stay or go? Are you sabotaging yourself by staying? Or are you sabotaging yourself by leaving, by ending the relationship now, which is true for you? And unfortunately, Tarot can't tell you that. Tarot is telling you or showing you, Spirit is showing you through the pattern of these cards that this is the confrontation in your life right now. That this is your dilemma. Whether you're ending something preemptively, that you're putting a stop to something because of some unconscious shadow complex, that you're ending something before it really has a chance to unfold, or if those thoughts of getting out of this relationship are true and authentic expressions and messages from your soul. Two of Swords is about the decision. Okay. The Seven of, between these two, I think it's kind of like the cards are asking you, what are you pretending not to know? Okay. There is a deeper truth here. The Two of Swords is the decision that you have to make. You can't stay on the fence about something. We are either in it or we're not. Maybe the mystery card will help us out a little bit. But this isn't a logical choice. This isn't making a choice based on what your thoughts are telling you. or what your calculations tell you. This is a choice that's being brought about by your intuition. We see that little crescent moon at the top of the card. Well, you think about it and think about it and think about it, which you've been doing. You have that Five of Swords, front and center, first card out, Five of Swords. It's been on your mind for a while. So thinking isn't going to lead you to the answer. What might lead you to the answer is to stop thinking, listen to that voice within. What is it really telling you? And be honest with yourself. And whatever it's telling you, don't try to talk yourself out of that or rationalize it or explain it away as something else. Just listen. The Two of Swords, right? It's like a big X that's saying stop thinking and listen to that voice of your intuition in there. And what is it really telling you? Okay? Because that's the insight coming from the star. The star is the revelation. The star is the unfolding of your destiny. Okay? You can't right now with the Five of Swords, you can't trust your own mind. You can't really trust the other people that are around you that are giving you their opinions. What you have to trust is the voice of your own spirit deep inside of you. That revelation coming from your own soul. And we've got to practice that virtue. You've got to make the decision and take the action that you know to be the right choice, even if it's difficult. This is the virtue card in the position of your relationships. You got to do the right thing in this relationship, even if it is difficult and challenging, even if it means you have to admit something that you'd rather not admit. Very often the star card shows us things we don't want to see. Shows us where we've been lying to ourselves, shows us where we've been ignoring the essential truth of something, where we've been trying to hide something or cover something up or suppress something or just explain it away. Okay. Let's look at the mystery card. Maybe the mystery card will give us a little bit of clarity. Maybe Ace of Swords. Maybe it'll give us some indication of which fork, which road we're supposed to go down. I mean, I feel like it's kind of that crossroads. It's like you have to pick one or the other. If you have a prediction for this card, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Nine of Swords, yeah, makes sense. Nine of Swords is a painful realization. This is the idea that we've been losing sleep at night. Something's been keeping you awake, okay? But this is the card, too, of also admitting how it is that you really, truly feel. And why? Is there a misery in your life and it's kind of unexplained? Is this you waking up to the feeling, to the realization, waking up to the painful truth that you've been sabotaging your completion, sabotaging the fulfillment of something? Or if this is the waking up to the realization that you've been dragging out an ending that you know needs to happen, but you just haven't been letting it happen because of fear, because of, the worry that we're wrong. Because are we clinging to a certain relationship now just because we don't want to have to start over? This is you waking up to the realization of what the truth is for you and what you need to do about it. Now we're going to do an extended reading. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below. New readings for Virgo Mondays and Thursdays. Mondays and Thursdays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you, I love you, and we are all in this together.